everybody. Welcome to the Remember the Arrowverse podcast. It's actually the best podcast.
It is the
I
bestest
would
in the
say.
world.
You know, we're still figuring things out, but objectively we're the best, even though we're still figuring
things out.
Right. This is the show where we rewatch episodes of Arrow and eventually Flash, assuming that we're still doing this by the time we would get to that point in the chronology
of
the Arrowverse.
Yeah.
So anyway, my name's Cademan. This is Dustin. I don't think we ever. I think we introduced ourselves in like the first episode.
I think so. I think we never brought it up ever again.
Which is very amateur of us.
Yeah.
But it's okay because we're amateurs.
Yeah. That's fine. Even though we're the best podcast.
Even though, yes. Right. Exactly.
Naturally.
It's a contradiction, but that's what humanity is.
True. Yeah.
So this is episode 7 of this podcast, and we're watching.
This would be
episodes
13, 14, I think.
Yes. Because if it's 2 every time, and we're on 7, 13, plus 7 would be 14.
Yep.
So
13, 14.
Math and numbers and stuff. So we're changing up how we're doing things.
Right.
I found a description, or not description, but like a
overview.
Yeah, a plot overview
for
these episodes on the fandom wiki. So instead of just like us wandering all over the episode, finding various things to talk about, and it gets a little confusing and stuff, we're gonna walk through the overview and then say something when we have things to say about the episode when they come up in the overview, and hopefully the overview has everything that we want to say things on about included in the overview.
Hopefully. If not, we'll stop our notes.
But... Yeah. So, that's where we're at. I don't know. Do you want to just get started, or is there other things we need to say?
I think that's pretty descriptive.
Okay.
Forgive me for butchering some of these names. So the first episode 13, is the Betrayal. I also wrote that down in my notes. So very cool.
Very cool.
Cyrus Vance, a gangster, for drug running, human trafficking, and murder, is released from Iron Heights prison from The Flash too, by the way.
Yep.
Hype. On a technicality, which do they really ever discuss that?
I don't think so.
In the show, I didn't remember hearing anything about that.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think in the show it's as vague as it is there.
Yeah.
If I remember.
I wish they would have gone into that more, but his girlfriend Vivian picks him up. The two visit Cyrus's lawyer, George Wolfman. Cyrus accuses George of butchering his trial, leading to his incarceration. Is what they're saying here. George cites the vigilante taking down Frank Bertinelli. Yes. And China White and the Huntress murdering Zishane. Is that?
I don't know.
I forget.
I don't know.
I don't
remember that.
I'm awful with names, by the way. Cyrus hugs him, saying that he understands, and then stabs George with a switchblade.
Okay.
And
so we can pause there because I have a couple things to say about this character.
Yeah.
The first thing is that the actor, he's the same actor who plays Frankenstein in the show Once Upon a Time.
Oh, really? That's pretty cool.
So that's fun. And he did a good job, and I like him as an actor.
Oh, yeah.
But the sort of negative about that character is he's basically the same character type as the Count from the last episode.
I was literally, that's one of my notes. Where it's like, I understand they're different characters, and you don't, like, there's one really strong plus that I like about the character, and another negative about the character. The negative, like you just said, it's like, isn't just like the same character, just a little less crazy.
Yeah.
The plus is that the Flash and the Arrow struggle a little bit sometimes with having villains that are relevant. Like if the Flash is so powerful, why is he struggling with this minor villain?
Right.
Right. Or Arrow, whatever. Right. Arrow's a little bit more justifiable though, and it's an early season. But
Yeah.
this is very much one of those villains where you could use him for one episode and then move on completely, and it would be completely fine.
Right.
Like if they bring him back, they can totally do that. That's fine. Or if they never bring him back again, it's completely,
Yeah.
This character is very flexible.
Yeah, and I think I liked him actually better than the Count.
Oh, absolutely.
But
absolutely. The setup was just a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. But I think it is jarring just like having those 2 episodes back to back.
Right.
And it's like, okay, is every episode like a sort of crazy like gang guy?
Right. I think with this character they're more trying to make him more of a Penguin character where he's like trying to take over, whereas the Count's more just like a Joker character.
Yeah.
Like I think that was the direction each of those characters was going in, but they just neither of the characters went anywhere.
Right.
And so they kind of look the same.
Yeah.
And they also kind of look similar in some ways.
Yeah.
But
it's like I guess it's just like, there's only so many like archetypes you can pull from to create your villains. But it's just jarring that they're such similar characterizations back to back.
Right.
But it's fine. It works okay.
Yeah.
This episode, I think, was better than the Count one, maybe? I don't know. It's been a while since
I have a view on it that I'll express at the end of this reading about how I rated this episode.
Yeah. Well, let's keep going then. And then
at the Arrow Cave, Oliver shows John Diggle the notebook that he got from Felicity Smoke. John finds it suspicious that Moira, is that how you pronounce her name? Moira would have a copy of Robert's list, but Oliver attempts to write it off as a coincidence. John understands Oliver, I think it should be, is wanting to believe that his mother is innocent, but the evidence suggests otherwise, especially Walter's recent disappearance.
Yeah, I think, again, it's been a while since I watched the episode.
Right.
I think like there was kind of the conflict here felt kind of unnecessary.
Really? Okay, I didn't feel it that way. I personally really enjoyed the tension a little bit, and felt that it was one of the only times where it actually was like understandable. Like, if I was in his shoes, that's kind of like.
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because to me, like, I kind of felt like it was just like Oliver being like a little too stubborn, and like not realistic.
Yes, that is true. Though,
where
granted,
it's like, I don't know, because it's like he is like pointing his bow at her at the end of the last episode, correct? Or is that this episode? Okay. He's pointing the bow at her at the end of the last episode, and then
I'm pretty sure
like,
it's this episode.
Is it?
It's this episode.
Is it this episode?
It is.
Okay, never mind. Forgot to say anything then.
I didn't say nothing.
I forget what happens in this episode and what happens in the next one.
You have to. The justification would be that. I mean, if you're on the island for so long, both of these episodes, especially the second one, but even this one had a lot of backstory, on the island. So he's been without his family for so long, he wants nothing but to believe that they're good, unlike his dad, which he's finding out more and more and more was not a good guy.
Yeah.
On Lian Yu, that's how you pronounce it, the island, right?
Something like that. It's good enough.
Using the map he stole from the mercenary camp, Oliver comes upon the remains of a downed cargo plane. As he attempts to loot the supply, an Australian man in a commando gear drops down from the hole in the ceiling and holds a sword to Oliver's throat. He tells him that this is going to be hard. Yale Fei. Yeah,
I think
sent him. That was as I've called it, the OG Arrow. That's not an actual term, but
The Asian guy that's there with him.
I love how they introduced Slade Wilson.
Yeah.
That was
I
fantastic. I love that.
basically love everything about Slade Wilson in the
Slade
show.
Wilson is, so far in the 2 episodes I've seen, it's fantastic. His introduction, absolute cinema. As soon as I saw it, I was like, and my younger brother accidentally spoiled that for me. He's like, "Have you seen Slade yet?" And I'm like, "No, Gabe, what have you done?" But he literally had just told me that like a week ago, right before I watched this episode. So he was talking to me about it. He's like, "Oh, but have you met this character yet?" I'm like, "Oh, shoot." So it was just cool. I'm glad he's in the show. I just didn't know at this point that he was.
Yeah.
And then the next episode I watch, he's in it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Slade Wilson, great character. I was curious because in this they make sort of a big deal about him being Australian.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't know if that's in comic books. I looked it up. I'm pretty sure it's not. I'm pretty sure that was the conclusion I came to. I think it's just the actor was Australian, so they thought that they had to like write it into the script.
Yeah, it's just a little interesting how him and his other buddy, which we'll get to later, were both Australian intelligence. Like, why would Australia be?
Well, because they're a government and he has an Australian accent.
I guess, but at the police station, Quentin and his commander officer, Lieutenant Frank Pike, are arguing over Quentin's recent change of assignment. Quentin insists on he's getting close to catching the Hood, but Pike notes that the vigilante has done a lot of good in the recent months and demands for his capture is beginning to wane. Sorry. If I might note something on this, I understand in real life if, say, both of us got powers, right, and we're doing vigilante stuff, right? I'm flashing around,
which we aren't doing right now.
Which we aren't doing. Say I'm flashing around, right, and you're like, shooting at bad people, right?
Yeah.
I would understand that audience members are always like, "Why are you hurting him? He's a good guy," right? From a law enforcement perspective, I don't even know if you heard about this. There's a guy in Mexico who's catching motorcycle thieves and taking them to poles. He's calling himself the Mexican Batman.
Okay.
That's actually a thing that's going on.
It's very funny.
It's funny, but realistically, you can't have that, just
right.
That's you can't just have a random guy shooting up.
Yeah, I think
proven
I want to say
right.
Seattle maybe had a guy who was like going around pepper spraying people and like wearing a super Phoenix Jones. If any of you want to look him up,
I've never heard about that.
But yeah, he got in a lot of trouble because he was
you just can't have
pepper spraying people on the streets. So,
but I understand that law enforcement would pursue them, military, right?
Right.
But also, I understand and I like that the note here is that it's not that the lieutenant here is like, if he walks to your front door, capture him by all means, right? If we have an actual thing on him, like he tells him, like, avoid the mission unless you have something solid, right? If you don't have something solid, like, move on, do something else, because he's been doing a lot of good and he isn't our top priority right now. And it's very much of a tactical thing that I think law enforcement would do. Like, yes, we've been pursuing him, but we have got nowhere. And he just did something really good, and there's something else really bad going on. We'll get to that later. And you, Quentin, yourself, are not doing that great at catching him. So, and you have to admit, and then later in this episode, you see how it's like you're using that tactic.
Right.
Like, he's obviously not doing a good job.
Yeah. Yep.
So, I really did like that. Moira is getting ready to leave the Queen Mansion when Oliver tasks her about the notebook. Yes. He claims to have looked up the names online and discovered that they are all bad people.
That's right.
Yeah. Moira tells Oliver that prior to his death, Robert kept a list of people who owed him favors. She reminded him that Robert kept many secrets from the family. She proceeded to destroy the notebook, citing that Walter's disappearance is proof that the only way to keep the family safe is to stop asking questions. Yeah. I loved pure cinema when she's like, the only way to keep this family safe is to stop asking questions. It's like, that is the most unsettling villain thing to say.
Right.
Like, it's like you're saying that, like, it was not super suspicious because an innocent woman could be like, like, oh, let's just stay at keep her hands out of this.
Mhm.
But it's the most villain thing to say. Like it
Right.
was like literally chills down the back of my
Yeah.
spine.
Well, I really like Moira.
Yeah.
I think because she's like kind of evil, but like not, or rather, she's kind of a villain, but not necessarily evil. Like
Right. Yes.
uh, not full on villain. And it's just like it's a really interesting sort of like nuanced character, I think, in a way that's like, um, well, there is like kind of a bit of like campy elements to it and some of like the
Right.
line delivery and stuff like that. She still does strike a chord of being sort of a realistic character
Right.
to me.
No, for sure. I just love that. The scene was
Mhm.
beautiful. It was a perfect scene in my opinion. Thea begins her CNRI internship with Laurel and is introduced to Anas- Anastasia,
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 probably. I don't remember this part.
who is on pro bono sabbatical from her high-paying law firm. Anastasia informs Laurel that Cyrus recently was released from prison.
Oh, okay.
Laurel
Gotcha.
protests, but Anastasia states that District Attorney Kate Spencer is adamant that there's nothing they can do without new evidence, right?
Gotcha.
As she plans her next move, Laurel calls Tommy, or gets a call from Tommy, inviting her to join him in a sample testing with chefs who are beginning to audition for the nightclub. At
Right.
the Oliver's nightclub,
Yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
Where was I
Do
at?
I guess they have chefs at nightclubs.
I mean,
They have
it's a
food.
queen. That's not. It's like a high end club.
Right.
So like, it's also the queen. So like, it's probably not just like a regular nightclub.
Yeah. I don't know. It is interesting though, because like later on you see the nightclub when it's like in full swing.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't remember a lot of food there. There's a lot of drinks, but I don't
Okay.
remember a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
food.
yeah. Laurel says that she has to call someone, and then they'll go out together the next night. That is interesting. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen scenes from the nightclub. Flash never
Right.
went anywhere in that super much in that area, and I haven't seen any farther
Yeah.
than these episodes. But also they do have to. Oliver has to keep Tommy occupied in order for him not to,
Right.
find out. So I think it's kind of
Yeah.
funny because like, what? Just get a
Yeah.
regular chef. Like auditions. That's
Right.
crazy. Oliver returns to the Arrow Cave and tells John about the destruction of the notebook. John sees it as a confirmation that Moira is hiding something and says that if it were anyone else, Oliver would be donning his hood gear and confronting them. Their conversation is interrupted when Laurel calls Oliver on his ghost phone, the Arrow phone. Laurel tells him that she needs evidence that will put Cyrus back behind bars. Oliver points out that he doesn't gather evidence, but Laurel insists that the hood is the only one who can help her. As Oliver leaves to help her, John asks if he is just using this as an excuse to run away from the truth about Moira. Oliver refuses to dignify this with a response. CTU tech Kelton informs Quentin that after listening to the bug cell phone, he's confirmed that Laurel is meeting up with the vigilante. Quentin heads to Frank's office and gets a force task ready. Ready.
On that note,
Yeah.
there's a line. This is a weird rabbit hole I went down.
Okay.
So there's a line where he says, because Laurel's gonna be there, so he's
Right.
like, fill your guns with rubber bullets or
Right.
whatever. And I was like, okay, I've heard like other places
Say that.
say rubber bullets. I'm like, is this a real thing? It must be, right, because I've seen it in enough places. So I look up rubber bullets, and they are real. Their police will use them when they don't necessarily want to kill people. They are not at all harmless,
Right.
as you're using real firearms. There's no way to actually be harmless.
Right, they hurt.
So
They hurt and
yeah, they
break
can,
bones and stuff.
yeah, and they do on occasions kill people.
Right,
So
right.
it's not like rubber bullets aren't sort of this magic thing that like a lot of media makes them out to be, where it's
Right, no,
like,
they
oh yeah, you won't
like
hurt
if you get hit in
anyone
the
too
eye with
bad.
them, your eye's
Right.
gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cyrus tells Vivian that with China White and Frank Bertinelli out of the picture, there is a power vacuum in Starling City. Sorry.
Mhm.
And his plans is to fill it. He plans to do something spectacular to earn the respect of the other gangs. While they converse, the Hood sneaks into Cyrus's mansion and takes out a few guards and ends up shooting a transmitter arrow into the wall near him. Cyrus pulls the arrow out of the wall and tells Vivian that his plan is to get rid of the Hood.
Oh, hey,
Good
can
strategy.
you try and move your microphone a little bit more in front of you?
In front of me. Yes,
Yeah.
I can do that. Like right here.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it actually is picking up on what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. And I think
Right,
it's
right,
I
right.
think it is doing a pretty good job, but just better to be
Yeah.
closer.
Right.
Did I have anything else to say? I don't think so. Maybe I did.
I like for once that. Well, okay. Here's something
Mhm.
that did bother me ever so slightly.
Yeah.
You're taking out all those guards and you shoot an
Mhm.
arrow at a post. You're telling me there's no shot that you have at Vivian.
Mm,
Now, granted, his goal is not to kill him. His
right.
goal is to get evidence. But
Yeah.
also, I did kind of like the fact that Oliver wasn't able to break in
Mm.
this time. Like he didn't know enough about the place.
Yeah.
It just seems a little bit like you weren't able to do it research or like.
Right. Yeah. And I like that this character, which this will come up later, but he's like, he's kind of a strategist, and he kind of knows how Green Arrow works and knows how to like kind of get around him. Um
Right.
oh, there was something else. Where was it? Nope. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. So
1
that's
second.
that's all cool.
Try to figure out where I was. All
Mm,
right, there we go.
okay.
All right. Laurel and Tommy are preparing for their date when Laurel gets a call from the Hood. He tells her that he has no evidence on Cyrus, but to meet him at the Winnick building. I think it's just a random building, building with no significance.
Probably, yeah.
Meanwhile, Quentin listens and tells his task force that they're to use rubber bullets.
Okay, there it is. Yeah.
Laurel is to be unharmed, but they are to do whatever it takes to capture the Hood. As he prepares to go, Lucas warns Quentin that Laurel won't be happy when she learns that her father used her as bait. But Quentin insists that his daughter disobeyed his orders. While Laurel tells Tommy that she has to do some work and will meet him a couple hours later at most. All right.
Yeah. So do we want to talk about the Laurel line to Tommy and all that stuff?
Yeah, kind of whenever.
Yeah. It annoys me. That's all I have to say.
Well, it is clear at the end of the episode
Mhm.
that he had no clue that she was working with the vigilante
Right.
at all, which I
Yeah.
think we can talk about that specifically later.
Hmm.
It's just a little bit interesting.
Yeah, I think it's
And
it's just like I don't know. It's just I always feel like in TV shows, it's like I feel like there's a way to go about that where you don't gotta lie to people and
yeah,
betray their trust and all this stuff. But
after this next paragraph, I have a note.
okay, well, let's go for it then.
Laurel meets the Hood on the roof of the Winnick building and gives her the recording that he made of Cyrus's plans. Suddenly, Quentin and his men storm the roof, and the Hood sees Laurel, uses Laurel as a shield. After giving her a whispered apology, the Hood leaps off the roof onto the patio below and ducks into the building. Quentin recklessly charges after him, but the Hood knocks him out and makes an escape. Okay. just spoil it. I'm going to give this episode a really high rating. I really did like this episode.
Okay.
Something that bothers me
Mhm.
heavily. They have a shot of catching him. They know where he's going to be at what time on a very exposed area.
Yeah.
Something that I really like about the Christopher Nolan Batman movies is that when the police do something, they actually do it like the police would actually do it, right? In this scenario, there would be helicopters. The entire block would be surrounded, right? I don't mind that he's getting away. In fact, I think he should get away, right? It's the hood. But the fact that Quentin comes on the roof with like 4 other guys, like you think 4 other guys is going to get the job done when he's literally taken out armed black market assassins by the masses. Like, I don't know. He took out, and later in this episode, he takes out 15 armed trained men. Right. Yeah. And you come with him, Quentin, who's already gotten beaten by the arrow numerous times, right? He has 4 or 5 other guys. They storm out at him when he literally has someone, he used Lance as a human shield. Right. Like, that was the most untactical, unrealistic thing ever. Yeah. Where's your helicopters? Where's your sniper? There's other buildings. If you look at the scene, there are other buildings that are significantly taller. Right. You could have snipers up in all those buildings, right? Like, yeah. Also, the fact that the ground, like, they weren't that high up. Realistically, 2 stories, I think, is how much they fell, maybe. It wasn't that tall. Yeah. Like, we could make the jump and survive. It wasn't unrealistic, right? Sure. So, the fact that there's just, like, it's not even hard to escape, right? Where were your other cops? Like, around the building, around the block? Like, realistically, this guy has killed numerous people illegally, and this would be like FBI. Like, this would be a big deal if you know where he is. And the fact that he brings 5 other guys on the rooftop is like the most untactical, immature, and unrealistic thing that would ever happen.
But also, they only have so much budget for like the show.
Well, that's the thing, but it's still dumb. Right. Like, remember in the 3rd Batman movie where they're chasing Batman? They have like the whole city is going after him with the, like, that's what this would be like. Right. It would be the exact same situation. Yeah. Like, you could get marshals, U.S. marshals up on this thing. Like, this would be a big deal. And the fact that it was like a couple dudes, and then not to mention the fact that Quentin knows how dangerous he is, has already gotten beaten. And so when he chases him, I get it. But like, my guy, you can't just like run into a door, right? Like, he's being so dumb and untactical about this. You would think that by now he would like learn not to just blindly run into like
but he's also super drunk all the time, so
yeah, it just bothered me.
Yeah, no, I get that, but at the same time, it is really hard to make TV shows and they have to stretch out a budget. So it's like they probably couldn't afford a helicopter, or else they would have thrown a helicopter in there, and they couldn't afford more actors to put in police uniforms and stuff like that. So I do understand like certain things where you have to just like do certain things to cut cost.
I'm just saying it's really unrealistic.
Yeah, I agree.
At the precinct, Laurel is outraged for being manipulated, naturally.
Yeah.
When Quentin reminds her that she disobeyed his orders, Laurel points out that he bugged the phone after warning her, as he wanted her to contact the hood. Laurel warns her father that his obsession with the hood is leading down a self-destruction path. Just like after Sarah died and her mother left. Quentin tells her that he will need the vigilante's phone back. And then Laurel slams it on and walks away. Notes? Keep going.
I don't have anything to say on that, really.
Oliver tells John about the ambush, and John suggests that Oliver cannot see straight with either Laurel or Moira. It's a great name. He has been keeping Moira under surveillance because someone with an unbiased perspective needs to keep an eye on her. Oliver initially disapproves, but John convinces him that there is nothing wrong with driving her around for a few days if she is innocent.
Yeah, I liked Diggle being Moira's driver in this.
That is funny. Those are funny scenes where he like walks in, she's like, Diggle? He's like, where's the rest?
Right.
I love that. He's like, Oh, like he does not want to be in there. He's like, and then
Yeah.
he's like, "Happy birthday." Walks out.
Yeah. I thought it
Great
was
scenes.
a fun, just a fun sort of plot for him
Yeah.
to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be her driver and I can kind of keep my eye on her and stuff.
Well, it's also funny when she's like, "Yeah, my driver's like never taken a day off ever." He's like, well, you know, everyone needs some vacation, you know. And
Yeah.
like, Laurel tells Tommy about her father using her to bait and entrap the Hood. Tommy ultimately disapproves of her meeting the Hood, expressing that even if the vigilante has helped her, he is still a killer. Tommy says that he cannot sympathize with Laurel over the fact that someone close to her has been lying, due to the fact that she's been lying to him.
Right.
The next morning, Cyrus is watching the news report on the failed sting against the Hood when Vivian informs him that a tip she received from the mole in the police department, the vigilante is working with an attorney named Laurel. Meanwhile, Tommy visits Oliver and tells him what happened with Laurel. Oliver is surprised that Laurel is lying to Tommy, and Tommy points out that Laurel has always been intrigued with bad boys like the vigilante. Trying to reassure his friend, Oliver advises Tommy to fix things with Laurel before it's too late.
Yep.
Sir.
That's yep.
On Lian Yu, the commando tells Oliver he has been working with Yango Fi. Yayo? How do you pronounce it?
I don't know.
OG Arrow for months, trying to find his way off the island. They find the airfield, the OG Arrow. That's funny. Was compromised and forced to work for Edward. Edward's like kind of the villain on the island so far, or like the head guy.
Right. Yeah.
The man then gives Oliver a.
Here, keep going. I'm gonna adjust your microphone.
Yeah, and admits that he needs someone to help him take the airfield. Now that Yayo is gone, would you pronounce it that way?
I don't know.
Yao. I'm gonna look that up afterwards. In the next episode, I'm gonna say it perfectly. Now that the OG Arrow is basically gone. However, Oliver is supposed to be back and needs. Yeah, he needs to make sure he has Oliver has his back and that he can cover it. The two spar, and Oliver, being easily overpowered, Oliver insists that he is no soldier and that he only killed the mercenary by accident and ran when Yo told him to. Yo. I'm just going to pronounce it that way. Disgusted, the man knocks him unconscious with one punch. That night, Laurel is leaving an apology message for Tommy when somebody knocks on her door. Believing it is Tommy, she answers it, only for two of Cyrus's men to break in. Laura manages to fend off both of them, but then runs through the door where Cyrus tases her, unconscious.
Okay.
I have some stuff on this too.
Tasers do not render people unconscious. That doesn't happen.
This is true. I was gonna mention that.
Tasers, they make you unable to move. They don't make you unconscious.
Temporarily.
Right.
Now, you could. Well, with enough electricity, you could kill someone potentially.
Right.
So you could do it that way. What would knock her unconscious is if she falls over and lands on her head.
Right.
That could knock you unconscious, but the taser stuff, you could tell she was out cold before she landed on the ground.
Right.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Now.
Which is common sort of use of taserage in fiction and media and stuff. Not how it actually works, whatever. Everything thinks it works that way.
Right.
But if you're in real life, if you're knocked unconscious, like it's not a good thing. Right. Every movie has like, oh, you hit someone in the right place and then they just fall asleep. No, it's like, if you're knocked unconscious, it's possible that you might die and never come back.
Right.
Anyway, so that was that was another rabbit hole I went down where I was like, I don't think tasers can actually do that. That doesn't seem like it works. But
Not to be spoiler, but
mhm,
since I know where Laurel lands, what character she becomes in the
mhm,
Arrowverse, I like and am not opposed at all
mhm,
to the fact that she can fight and that she held her own.
mhm,
For other reasons, this is justifiable. That whole scene with how she was captured, I completely like. Again,
mhm.
the taser part was a little over the top.
Right.
That's fine with me if Cyrus is the one that beats her. That makes
Mhm.
sense. But due to the fact that we know what character she becomes later,
Yeah.
it's justifiable to me, and
Yeah,
it's
I
fine. And
do.
it wasn't like girl power or anything like
Right.
that.
I do kind of feel like it's a little bit inconsistent of
It is
how
inconsistent.
much she can fight.
Well, like in
But
Iron Heights, she got
yeah,
dog walked by that one guy,
right.
and then in this one, she's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it is a
Which
little inconsistent.
it's like, you know, I always just like thinking from like sort of an artist or a creator perspective, it is really hard to make a TV show.
Right.
And like, especially like in this show you have like a like different episodes are written by different people, and like
Right.
you do your
Right. Right.
best to make everything line up the best that you can, but it doesn't always work and sometimes it does.
Right.
So um a lot of our complaints are like kind of nitpicks, but
Yes.
it is an
Yes.
impressive show all the way around,
For sure. Oh, yeah, yeah,
just
no, for
because
sure.
like every show is really impressive,
Yes.
to be
Yes.
honest. So
John drops off Mora,
mhm.
who claims to be meeting her accountant. Once she goes inside, John follows her and sneaks into the supply closet next to the office. Using a listening device, John overhears Mora talking to Malcolm, although John does not know who it is, telling him that she made sure that Carl Baldard wouldn't interfere with the undertaking. Malcolm, when he tells Mora to get rid of the wreckage from the King's Gambit, saying that there is no need to look for evidence of sabotage, even though Mora is sure that it happened. Mora's bodyguard comes into the closet and sees John and asks him what he is doing. John claims that he is just taking a smoke.
So on that, this is a weird thought I had,
Mm-hmm.
but he had a lighter and cigarettes. Do you
Right.
think that John Diggle is smoking when no one's looking? Or do you think he
Mm.
was like, maybe someone will catch me sticking something in my pocket? I need to carry
So the
cigarettes
thing is,
just in
generally
case.
speaking, I was like, yeah, you
Hmm.
have to be a smoker. But
Hmm.
knowing John Diggle's character, I could totally and completely believe him being like, there might be one time where like either I need a lighter or like I need to make an excuse. I could totally justify, due to that Diggle's character,
Hmm.
him doing something like that, which makes
Yeah,
it
I could see
funny.
it. I could see it. But I could also see him because he's like ex-military and stuff.
Yeah.
I could see him being like a very occasional smoker as well.
Right, right, right. When Tommy returns to Laurel's apartment, he finds it in disarray and discovers the hood's transmitter arrow stuck in the wall. He takes it to Quentin, and they play back the recording of Cyrus telling them to send the hood to meet him, or else they will leave pieces of Laurel all over Starling City. Quentin realizes only that only someone in the squad could have overheard earlier conversations about Laurel's working with the hood. He can't trust them and has to make a call. John plays Oliver the recording of the conversation between Mora and her contact, whose voice is disoriented and unrecognizable. Oliver is shocked that the accountant with the yacht has no accent. However, he insists that Mora couldn't have been involved. John doesn't believe it and figures that the recording shows that she's involved. But they're interrupted by Quentin calling Oliver's cell phone, in which he asked the hood to help unkidnap Laurel.
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
All right. On Lee and Yu, Oliver awakens to find that he's been tied to a chair. The commando realized that he needs someone to help him retake the airfield, but Oliver is too weak to be of any use to him. He now plans to kill Oliver so that he can't be captured and his location won't be revealed to Edward. Oliver finally injures his hand to pull himself free from the ropes and then punches his captor. Surprised and impressed, the man introduces himself as Slade Wilson and admits that Oliver might have some fight in him after all.
Slade Wilson?
Slade
That's
Wilson?
a comic book.
What?
That's a Deathstroke.
Yeah. Hype. The Hood meets Quentin on a roof, and Quentin admits that he hates everything about that the vigilante stands for. However, because of the security leak in the precinct, he has no one else to turn to. The Hood states that Cyrus's mansion is too heavily fortified for him to take alone and tells Quentin that he would have to help him.
Yeah, I do kind of like Quentin and Arrow teaming up, not really liking each other, but like being forced to work together.
Yes.
I think it's just kind of a fun sort of dynamic. I don't know. I'm a big fan of in stories when either you have like two people that are friends that are forced to work against each other, or two people that are enemies
who have to work together.
Exactly.
I love that. I know.
Yeah.
Or like when you get Lex Luthor and Superman having to work together sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
Which,
by the way, is what the next Superman movie is going to be about.
I know,
so
it's peak.
Super excited for that.
It's absolutely peak. I'm hyped about that.
Yeah.
At the mansion, Cyrus warns Laurel that her time is running out and that he has trained men placed around the house. He is unaware that the Hood is already on the grounds, taking out the men. Yeah. Meanwhile, Cyrus informs Laurel that he has confirmed that the vigilante always has 24 arrows and flexes that while he has 25 armed men with automatic weapons, a guard captures the Hood and runs out of weapon because he runs out of arrows.
Yeah.
And brings him to Cyrus.
I thought that was cool that like he might like watch Green Arrow and be like, oh, he always has this many arrows. Now,
using his brain.
Do I think that realistically Green Arrow always carries the same amount of arrows?
Probably.
I don't think so.
Why is that? I mean, why would you not fill up his thing all the way full?
Well, because I don't think that it's like, you know, it's like if you had a bag, right? Yeah. And you filled it with goldfish every day for lunch at work.
Yeah.
Right? You would never end up with the exact same amount of goldfish in the bag.
Yeah.
I mean, okay. I think he would always probably attempt to take as many arrows as he could. I don't know that it would always end up being the same number. Okay. Maybe it would. And you could say like, well, he's like kind of militaristic, maybe like he knows that like that's the right number to kind of, you know, do everything that he wants to do in a night. You could say that, and that's a fair enough argument. But it was something that like as it was playing, I was like, that's cool, but I don't know. I don't know how realistic it is.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically the Quentin saves the Hood and his daughter and captures Cyrus. Quentin tries to shoot Cyrus, but the arrow stops him and then escapes.
Right. Yeah.
I like that scene. Quentin takes Laurel back to the station to make sure that she is okay and offers to drive her home. However, Laurel refuses and says that she can't trust her father. As Laurel goes to her car, excuse me, the Hood steps out and asks if she's okay. Laurel assures him that she is, and then states that her father has the phone back. Laurel tells the vigilante that she knew the risks, but the Hood refuses to let her take them anymore. As Tommy runs up, Oliver slips into the shadows. Laurel apologizes to Tommy for lying to him. Relieved that she is alive and unharmed, Tommy hugs her, assures her that nothing is the matter and that it's okay. On the new, Slade warns Oliver that he'll kill him if he ruins his escape attempt, but Oliver points out that if he is dead, then Slade will have nobody else to help him. When he asked what they should do next, Slade tells him to pick a weapon from the supplies. Oliver goes through them and finds the yellow and black Deathstroke mask and assumes that Slade was the man who tortured him. Slade reveals that he is a member of Team 7, an elite division of Australian Special Forces, hence the unique mask design. And that his partner and friend were sent on the island to extract Yeo, but his partner and friend ended up going rogue. It was his ex-partner and former friend, not Slade, who tortured Oliver.
Yeah.
And captured.
Was that a surprise to you?
No.
Yeah.
Not really. No. I mean, am I satisfied with that? Like, I would have been really happy either way. If it was him, I would have been chill with that. But also, it's kind of just like, that's fair.
Yeah, I think
other things.
I think I knew the first time I watched that was the case. That wasn't Slade Wilson. That was like
there would be some
with the
interesting things that would have to happen if it was.
Right.
It just didn't formally make sense. Oliver reviews John's recording, and is devastated to learn that Moira is involved with their father's death. John suggested that blind trust can be dangerous and that they figure that they need to know what the undertaking is, and how Moira is involved. Oliver suits up and says that he's going to talk to his mother. Moira is holding a meeting in her office, and the hood swings through the window and takes out the guards. He then turns to Moira, accusing her of failing the city. And that's this episode, which I'll move to my notes.
All right.
See if I missed.
Excellent. Yeah, I think on my notes, my last note on like the on the good side of things.
Yeah.
I have kill mom. So I liked that Oliver was the episode ended with Oliver killing his mom. She doesn't die. Spoilers.
Right.
Spoilers. Oh no. Yeah, probably don't listen to this podcast if you don't want spoilers for the show. But it's probably better to say that at the beginning.
Right. Yeah, I basically kind of said everything I wanted to. What's your moral?
It doesn't look like I had a moral.
Mine was that lies are
everywhere. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I think a moral would be that usually when like someone tells you like, oh, don't look into that, or don't think about it, or don't worry about it, a lot of times that's because that person is probably a cult leader, or
generally,
or has something to hide. If they say, like, if they actively shut you down just for like trying to think of things or like what might be going on,
right,
then I think that is usually an untrustworthy person. So
generally speaking,
that would kind of be, and that's of course taken from the scene with Oliver and his mom when she threw the book in the fire and was like, "Just stop looking into stuff."
It's fine, dog. It's fine.
It's fine. Everyone kills their husband sometimes.
Everyone does it sometimes. So, what would your rating of this episode be? I'm very curious.
Yeah, no, I think. Did I write down a ranking on here? Nope, I didn't. I think we're going up to 5 stars, right? That's our ranking.
We're doing 1 out of 10. So
1 out of 10. Okay. Yeah. I think like
I
7.
Okay, I personally gave it an 8.
Okay.
I really liked the episode. Unfortunately, there's just a couple things that they could have improved on.
Yeah.
Or things I disliked a little bit, like that didn't really make complete sense. But generally speaking, I loved the episode and I didn't want to look into all the flaws too difficultly. That one is pretty close our ratings. We've only had one episode never mind. We had two episodes where we fully agreed.
Oh yeah, you have her
12 and number 7.
Yeah. It was hard for me to answer that because in my head, what I was thinking is I was like 6, 7. I was like, no, I can't say it. It's a completely natural thing to say that comes up a lot in conversation, but now you just can't say it.
Yeah, I personally really liked the episode. There's just a few things that could be done better, but it was still
I think it's good. I think we're getting to the point where like the show really starts picking up and like because we're introduced to Slade. I feel like the island portions are like getting more of a story instead of being like Oliver learns how to kill a bird and eat it today.
Right. Yeah. Well, yeah, you start seeing things, you start getting answers.
Yeah. So I liked this episode. I thought it was good, and I think if like I ran to this episode as my first time seeing the show, I think I would definitely be interested in watching more.
Totally. Do we want to stop this and do a different episode for the next
we could.
Because we've been on this one for almost an hour.
Yeah, maybe we do that.
Maybe we do that.
Yeah. So we start doing
a different
one episode.
Yeah, because just this review took a while, which I personally let us know in the comments. But I personally loved the review. I think that worked out better.
Yeah, I think it did as well.
Yeah.
So
it worked out a lot better. So
thank you so much for watching.
Yep.
We wish you a Merry
Christmas
life.
Yeah.
It's not the Christmas episode anymore. That was like 3 weeks ago. And hey,
that's true.
Hey. If this is episode number 7, in theory, assuming that we're able to film a good amount of times, which we have busy lives, okay? It doesn't. We have to work it in with more important things. But you could watch one episode every day and then be all caught up for when next episode comes out.
Oh, easily.
In theory.
In theory.
So, feel free to do that. Feel free to leave comments, share with your friends. What else?
No,
that's a joke. An ending joke.
An ending joke.
Yeah, you get to do an ending joke.
I get to do an
This is a new thing. This is a new thing. You have to make up an ending joke off the top of your head.
I guess I'll ask you. Do mascara and blush ever fight?
Probably.
They do, but then they make up.
Oh, it's pretty good.
That's a bad joke.
What's mascara and blush?
Just makeups.
Oh, women and stuff.
Women and stuff.
All right.
Well, see you later.
Bye-bye.